Hello, I'm Fast Lawyer. Today we are going to review Immortal Legacy, the Jade Cipher VR, a game released on the Steam store March 19th, 2021 by developer Viva Games. It's available for the HTC Vive. It normally retails for $12.99. I got this on the release sale on Steam. It was only a slight discount though. I can confirm this game does work on the Oculus Quest 2 using the Oculus Link cable. However, there are some issues with the controls, which I'll get into in a little bit. Immortal Legacy, the Jade Cipher VR, is a port of a PlayStation VR game brought now to PCVR, and you can tell it is a PlayStation VR game. There are some limitations. It doesn't have the normal interactions that we're used to in PCVR. The graphics aren't the best. However, you might think this is just another shooter, but you'd be wrong. This is actually a action adventure type game that obviously does have first-person shooter mechanics, and what separates it from most shooters in VR, especially Steam VR, is that it has high production values, especially for the very budget price this title is selling at. For $13, you really are getting a steal as long as you're okay with some of the limitations of this being originally a PSVR game. Currently, this game is rated mostly negative on Steam, and I can certainly understand some of the negative reviews. The controls here are not the best, and some of the gun mechanics and some of the interactions that we're used to in VR are just not very good in this game. However, what this game does get right is that it has lots of cinematic moments. It does have a story, it has voiceovers, it's got cinematic scenes, and then you're actually on this adventure in VR, and we really don't have a lot of those types of games where you have a full game with shooting, with climbing, with puzzles, all coming together to present a pretty immersive experience. Again, as long as you're okay with some of the limitations. We're not used to this as far as modern VR titles. We're used to better shooting mechanics, we're used to more interactions, and the controls here, like I said, are just not very good. However, the actual game itself is a steal at this price, and I do recommend this game. I had fun. I was able to look past the controls, look past the limitations, and just really enjoy this game for what it is, which is again an action adventure game that feels kind of epic in VR. There's some really good 3D models in this game, and there's even dragons in this game, and the dragons here are some of the best that I have seen in VR, especially for a full-fledged title. Now, the game took me approximately 5 hours to complete. I will say that I did get stuck on one boss, and it took me many attempts to get past it. I kept running out of ammo. I finally beat the boss. I'm not actually sure what I did different when I beat the boss, but I'm glad I did. But if you don't have those difficulties that I had, you might be able to finish this game in 4 hours. Immortal Legacy, the Jade Cipher VR is running on the Unity engine. On my RTX 3080, I was getting drops in frame rates every now and then. However, for the most part, it was running at 90 frames per second. You do have full locomotion, smooth and snap turning options, as well as some other comfort options. I did not experience any major issues or bugs while playing this game. However, like I mentioned earlier, the controls are pretty bad. The problem here is the default gun angle is way too high. However, if you change it to leisure mode from the normal aim mode, it actually lowers the gun angle and makes the game much more playable. And not all the buttons correspond the way that you would think from the HTC Vive to the Oculus Quest 2 touch controllers. However, the help is on the forums if you want to find out what you need to do. My suggestion is just to push every button on your touch controller. Eventually you'll figure out what button corresponds to which game action. It is odd though that the grab buttons, the grip buttons are not used in this game. As I mentioned before, the visuals aren't the best, but it's still pretty good, especially for a full-fledged game. I would say it's comparable to early Xbox One, early PS3 era games. I would have liked to see more graphical settings available than were in this game. I did enjoy the story in this game. I'm not going to say it's a great story, but it's definitely better than the average VR game, and it's a little bit on the weird side, which I like. I did enjoy the voiceovers and the different locations and scenes, and just the detailed environments here. Really top-notch stuff, and really not something that you expect from a budget title. On the other hand, some of the gameplay elements here were not the best. Obviously, the shooting mechanic here could be a lot better, and it's definitely a downgrade from what most VR veterans are expecting from modern VR shooters. A lot of the shooting mechanics here are outdated, but it's not all bad. You do have lots of different weapons here that you can use, from melee weapons to a nail gun to Molotov cocktails to a minigun to an AK-47. So you do have a nice variety of weapons. Unfortunately, the weapon handling itself is not the best. The reloading is shake to reload. The inventory system here is pretty bad. And while there are lots of objects in the world and you can interact with some of them, a lot of them you cannot, and the interactions are just pretty simple. Also, the puzzles in this game are just super simple, not a challenge at all, which you might like if you're a casual gamer, but some of them are tedious. For example, there's one where you have to put the ball through the maze, and that one is repeated quite a bit, and it's just not fun at all. Overall, despite the mostly negative reviews from Steam, I would say they're wrong. This is a budget title, and you get a lot of value for your money from this game, and I do recommend it. And if I have to rate it, I would give it a 7 out of 10. However, I will caution, if you don't like messed up controls, don't buy this game. However, if you like action adventure games and wanting them in VR, because we just don't really have a whole lot of them, then this is one of the better ones we have in VR, and that's why I highly recommend it, especially at this budget price. It's a steal. Anyways, I'm Fast Lawyer. If you like my review, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and as always, have a wonderful day. Goodbye.
I told them we had to get out. But did anyone listen? No, of course not. I can't take any more.
Hey.
What? Who are you? Huh? I thought everyone was dead. Wait. You're from Alpha Team? What took you so long? You gotta get out!
What happened here?
Don't touch me! Get back! Please, get back. Sent down into this hellish place. Left here to die. My whole team! Gone! Oh, man. You wouldn't believe what we found. Mummies, zombies, the living dead. Zuru! Ah! Oh, man. Huh? They knew. They tricked us all. I warned them. Told them not to trust those bastards in their fancy suits. Well, they're all gone. And it's time for me to go too. Good luck, friend.